Well, a dozen propositions made it onto the California ballot this election cycle. One of the more controversial ones, Prop 22, allowing app-based drivers to maintain their independent contractor status. There was a well-funded campaign to vote yes on this, and it seems it worked. Nearly 60% of the vote in favor of Prop 22. This also rejects Governor Newsom's AB 5 bill that he had signed earlier this year. So how about a little overtime with our panel on this special election edition of Sunday Morning Matters? And what an interview with Steve Brandau. I want to get to that first. Tom, I want to get your thoughts. He did test positive for COVID-19, but he's just not going to wear a mask when he's around family and friends. You okay with that?
Most of the state is. No, people don't wear masks inside their homes. I wish Steve well in his recovery, but it is November 8th. He'll probably be symptom-free within 4 days, 5 days. Mm-hmm. And then it's 10 days after that where you become scientifically not contagious sooner than 10 days after that. And that's when they allow people to go back out. So by Thanksgiving, it's not going to be an issue for him.
Amanda, your thoughts? And I'll say, hey, look, we saw a lot of people flood the streets when Biden was named president-elect. A lot of them wearing masks, no social distancing. So where do you sit on this, especially after the interview with Steve Brandau?
This is about being a leader in a community and at the very least protecting the people around you. Tom, he wasn't just in his house. He was at city council meetings. He was going to events and knowingly ill. Like, I can't imagine what I would feel like had I known I might be sick and I infected other people, not just colleagues, but friends that I know. I got to tell you, that interview struck me in a really different way, knowingly that there's now 50 plus people because someone chose not to wear a mask themselves. I hope that as everyone goes to Thanksgiving, I hope that everyone around the table has actually made sure that they were okay and that they didn't actually infect anyone else. I don't want to see anyone else die. And what we're seeing in rates in the counties in the Central Valley is scary and worrisome. And I've said this many times on the show, it's not hard to wear a mask. It's not hard to care about each other. And maybe it's time that we all do that a little bit more.
I want to get to the propositions, guys. We saw Prop 22. It's passing overwhelmingly. Of course, all the votes aren't in yet. But does this mean state lawmakers should repeal AB 5? And again, Prop 22 is the app-based drivers where Lyft and Uber and DoorDash and all those types of drivers are going to be independent contractors. Should they then go ahead and repeal AB 5? Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it isn't just app-based drivers. I'm a small business attorney. I struck by conversations with salon owners. I struck by a woman who does makeup when I was in San Diego doing TV shows, and she said she had, can't do her wedding business because she occasionally hires extra makeup artists for the wedding party. So she has to give up that income. As usual, it's a law that has some good intent, but is overbearing. And I'm glad to see that if you look on balance, if the propositions hold up, they rejected the big tax increase in Prop 15, and they want to let people more flexibility with regard to working.
Amanda, where do you stand on Prop 22? And then obviously, as it's passing, AB 5, should it be repealed? And state lawmakers should be working on that, or leave AB 5 alone?
So I think there's just an overall sense when you look at all these ballot measures, and I know many people who are kind of reading through them had a hard time really understanding what was going on in each of these measures. But I do think we are in a new place with the gig economy. And I do think that perhaps it's more complicated to go to the public and try to explain what's happening. And maybe we should be leaning more on our state legislatures who can actually deal with that complexity, because the economy is changing in real time. And I think we're going to continue to see that post-COVID, what happens to our gig economy. And listen, I'd like to make sure that people have health care, that people have an ability to actually take care of their families, particularly because we are going to see a lot of pre-existing conditions as we come out. So it is important to work in tandem with business to figure out how can we have employees, how can we have an economy that works, and how can we make sure that people are taken care of.
All right, I want to punctuate it on this. Prop 25. We only got about a minute and a half here. I know I'm a time clock. I'm a human time clock, guys. Prop 25 here, the cash bail system. It's going to stay intact, it looks like. A no at 56%. The measure was trying to go to a risk assessment model. Did Californians get this right? Amanda, I'll start with you, and then Tom, you'll get last word. Go ahead, Amanda.
I think having a risk assessment makes sense. I think we do have to figure out making sure if you are a flight risk, period, it shouldn't be based on cash. And so I'm really comfortable with figuring out how do you do that in a way that's appropriate, bringing people together, both Democrats and Republicans, to actually figure out how to make justice based on risk and not on someone's ability to pay.
Tom, go ahead. Cash bail system, it looks like Californians as a whole, not as a whole, I should say, most Californians say there's nothing wrong with that system. Do you agree?
You had a circumstance in New York where a young man was arrested 5 times in one day because there was no cash bail system. I'm confident in the judicial system to allow judges the discretion as to the amount of cash or the manner in which they apply it. But just simply saying you get arrested and you're back out doesn't work. You can't just look at one side of the equation.
Tom,
the other side of the equation is not good.
I got to cut it there. Tom and Amanda, thank you so much for joining me live this morning on this special edition. Be well. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.